So I know Bob was in here before, so I will let Bob's words, speak for the organization. As a coach, anytime there's something that happens, we try to handle things internally. It's very difficult to keep everything in-house, obviously, but Bob handled your questions, and so I'm not going to answer anything more because Bob already answered what needed to be answered. The only thing I will say is that Jordan has been fantastic throughout camp. There was a report that I was made aware of last night that someone put out there that Jordan had an attitude in camp. Nothing could be further from the truth. He's been fantastic. So disappointing to see misinformation out there. But I wanted to make sure I set the record straight on that. Everything else we will handle internally, and we'll go from there.
The one question he kind of did defer to you on was, he said, Draymond obviously came in, apologized today, left, didn't practice, asked if he would be at practice the next few days. He said that something he knows, but would defer to you on.
Didn't practice today. I won't be here tomorrow, and I expect him to return on Saturday and get back at it.
How would you like to navigate this as a group? Any emotions to make sure feelings don't fester? That there's no resentment.
It's for us to handle, privately. So.
You guys did scrimmage today. You said that Clay was doubtful for that scrimmage. Did he get to scrimmage, or what?
Clay did not scrimmage. He did a lot of work on the side, as did Andre. We had a fantastic scrimmage. I couldn't have been more happy with the effort, with the production. A lot of guys played really well, and so it's exciting given that, we've been at it now for 10 days or so, with a trip to Japan in the middle of all that. This was not an ideal way to map out camp, but I could not be any happier with the progression of our young guys, the integration of our new guys, and just the overall performance. It's been very impressive.
So Clay's not going to play on Sunday?
Clay won't play Sunday. Yeah.
Steve, are you guys going to do anything at all tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know this is related to that, but I mean, from your personal point of view, and I asked Bob the same question, is, because you guys have been through a few things with Draymond in the past, how would you articulate your level of, disappointment to see this happen at this time?
Again, Bob covered all that. Everything from my position as a coach is that, it's my job to handle things internally with the team. And so there's lots of communication that happens, and we do our job to keep the team moving forward.
Steve, what do you see from Steph's leadership example currently, and just as the veteran on his team?
I think Steph over the last couple of years has really grown as a leader because he's had to, because our team has changed so much. In a very short period of time, we went from being an older team to a super young team. And as Steph observed all of that, he knew he had to take a more active role in the leadership of the team. And, to me, this is Steph's team now. He's always sort of, shared in the responsibility of everything with a whole bunch of veteran players, including veteran reserves. We've had really important leaders on this team, and guys like David West and Zaza, Sean Livingston, Andre. It's always been sort of a group effort. But Steph is at the point in his career now, and we have a team that is so young that it's clearly Steph is has just blossomed into this amazing leader.
And obviously, this question starts with what happened yesterday, and you don't want to talk about specifically, but it is meant more generally too. You'd certainly have all these young guys, very young guys, and you have the veterans who've been through so many campaigns together. There's going to be a natural generational thing, but do you have to balance that as a coach? You have first team, second team. It literally is the veterans and a lot of the young guys. And is that good, or is that at some point a little dangerous?
I think what makes coaching fun is that every season presents a unique set of circumstances based on the roster, based on where the team is. And we're just in a really interesting position. You just rarely see this, where a team can not only compete for a championship, but actually win one like we did a year ago, and have all these young players who represent the future. So it's incredibly unique. For us, I think I look at it as a huge blessing. And it's my job as a coach, and it's our veteran players' jobs as leaders, to make sure that, blending of the two eras, happens in a really productive way. And that means a combination of mentoring and sacrificing, and those are all the things that are going to allow us to be successful.
Steve, Bob brought up how you had your incident with Michael Jordan back in the day. I was curious, was that easy for you to get over when it was you? Was it, hey, these things happen, or was it more difficult because of whatever emotion or psychology attached to it?
Well, we had a documentary about that, so just watch The Last Dance.
That's a nice duck.
Bob talked about the vibe being fantastic this season. Would you back that up? And within that context, does any of that change over the last few days?
No. The vibe is great. Our young guys, what I just watched in the scrimmage is so encouraging. The work that JK and Wise have put in, and our coaches have put in with them. Moses. I watched all three of them play at a level that I haven't seen before. There's an awareness, a recognition now of what needs to happen, what their roles are, how they have to play. They still have a long way to go, but they've just come so far. And when you blend that with the glow of still winning a championship, there's been a great vibe. We've had a hell of a camp. So you have some bumps in the road and you deal with that, and then you keep going. So I'm excited about where we're heading.
You touched on Steph a little bit, but with Andre here too, and you've described Andre as the adult in the room sort of guy. How valuable are both of these guys at this time for this team in terms of making sure that, little fractures don't become big fractures and so forth? Both, not just Steph, but Andre and Steph.
Yeah, Andre is one of the great leaders I've ever been around. And, one of the reasons we were so excited that he decided to come back this year was because we knew we were going to need his internal leadership. It's been my experience, whether I was a player, management or coach. It's internal leadership from within the locker room is the most important within a team's makeup. You have to have guys in the locker room who are leading and really kind of laying out the blueprint for how things have to be. And so Andre does an amazing job of that. And we're going to need him this year for sure.
Steve, Clay talked about in Japan having like the mental block of playing pickup. And as someone who overcame 941 days and worked his way back, could you talk about maybe some of the emotional difficulties or type of mentality it takes to, get back out there? I know we all expect, it's one more year later, he'll be better. But what are some of the other mental things he'll have to deal with to be ready for the season?
Well, he's doing really well. He's in a good mood. He's getting all his work in. He looks good. So I think the mental block was really more about, playing pickup in the summer. at the same place where he injured his Achilles, kind of away from the team and with his friends in Southern California. I think for whatever reason that, that vibe kind of threw him for a loop. So it's all good. I mean, he's in good shape, and we're just making sure we're ramping him up slowly, and his work has been great. His attitude's been great. I think it's all going to work out fine. Does what set us back? No, there's no setback at all. Thanks.